There is a rule that separates the powerful from the powerless, the predator from the prey, the strategist from the victim. Never beg for attention, never chase validation, never explain yourself to those who lack the vision to understand you. This is not advice for the morally righteous. This is strategy for those who understand that the world rewards perception, not truth, that influence is built on calculated distance, not desperate proximity, that respect flows toward those who withhold, not those who offer themselves freely. If you have ever felt the sting of being overlooked, disrespected, or treated as disposable, it is because you gave too much, revealed too much, and needed too much. The world does not reward transparency. It rewards mystery. It does not bow to kindness. It bows to strength. And strength begins the moment you stop performing for an audience that never valued the show. Machiavelli understood this deeply. Power is not inherited by the loud or the emotional. It is claimed by those who master the art of restraint, who understand that silence can dominate a room more effectively than words, and who recognize that the less you need from others, the more they will offer you without being asked. You are about to learn how to recalibrate your entire approach to relationships, career dynamics, and social influence. Not by becoming colder, but by becoming sharper. Not by rejecting people, but by making yourself so valuable that people fear losing access to you. This is not about cruelty. This is about control. Control over how you are perceived, how you are treated, and how much power you hold in every interaction. From this moment forward, you will stop giving yourself away for free. You will stop explaining your decisions to those who were never going to support them. You will stop chasing people who should be chasing you. And you will start building the kind of presence that makes others second-guess every word they say in your direction. Let's begin with the foundation. Begging is the fastest way to announce that you have no options. Whether you are begging for attention, affection, opportunity, or understanding, the message is the same. You believe the other person holds something you cannot generate yourself. And the moment someone senses that desperation, they lose respect for you. Not because they are cruel, but because human psychology is wired to assign value based on scarcity and self-sufficiency. Think about the people you respect most. They do not plead. They do not over-explain. They do not anxiously await your approval. They move with quiet certainty, and that certainty makes you want to stay close to them. This is the energy you must cultivate. When you stop begging, you stop positioning yourself beneath others. You reclaim your status as an equal, or better yet, as someone operating on a level they have not yet reached. Chasing operates on the same principle. The person being chased holds the power because they control the pace, the outcome, and the emotional investment. But the person who stops chasing flips the entire dynamic. Suddenly, the other person must confront the possibility that they are no longer important to you. That uncertainty creates psychological tension, and tension is the birthplace of influence. You might have noticed this in your own life. The moment you stopped reaching out to someone, they suddenly reappeared. The moment you stopped trying to prove yourself, people started paying closer attention. This is not coincidence. This is human nature. People are drawn to what they cannot easily access, and they dismiss what is always available. Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. But fear does not require aggression. It requires unpredictability. When people cannot predict your reactions, your decisions, or your next move, they approach you with caution. That caution is respect in disguise, and respect is the currency of power. Now let's address the trap of explanation. Every time you explain yourself, you hand someone the blueprint to your mind. You reveal what you fear, what you value, and what you are trying to protect. Explanations are confessions. They signal that you feel the need to justify your existence, your choices, or your boundaries. But powerful people do not justify. They decide, and they move forward. This does not mean you become unreasonable or refuse to communicate. It means you become selective about who deserves insight into your reasoning. Not everyone has earned that level of access. Not everyone is capable of understanding your vision. And not everyone is asking because they care. Many people ask questions to find weaknesses, to gather ammunition, or to confirm their own biases about you. When you stop explaining, you stop defending. And when you stop defending, you stop appearing guilty. Silence in the face of accusation is one of the most unnerving responses you can offer. It forces the other person to sit with their assumptions, and assumptions without confirmation often crumble under their own weight. As you practice this, you will notice something fascinating. People will start creating narratives about you. They will fill in the gaps you refuse to explain, and often, the story they create will be far more impressive than the truth. This is the power of mystery. The human mind cannot tolerate uncertainty, so it creates meaning where none is provided. And the meaning it creates is usually shaped by the observer's own insecurities and projections. Let's go deeper into the mechanics of building value through scarcity. Value is not determined by what you offer. It is determined by how difficult it is to obtain what you offer. This applies to your time, your attention, your presence, and your emotional energy. When you are always available, always responsive, always accommodating, you train people to treat you as a convenience rather than a priority. Scarcity does not mean disappearing or playing games. It means being intentional about where you invest your energy. It means recognizing that your time is the most non-renewable resource you possess, and every minute spent on someone who does not reciprocate is a minute stolen from your own advancement. Start by auditing your relationships. Who reaches out to you only when they need something? Who takes hours or days to respond but expects immediate replies from you? Who drains your energy without offering anything in return? These are the people you must begin distancing yourself from, not out of spite, but out of strategic self-preservation. When you pull back from these dynamics, you create space for higher quality connections. You also send a message to those who took you for granted. They begin to realize that access to you is not guaranteed. That realization shifts the power balance. Suddenly, they are the ones wondering if they did something wrong. They are the ones replaying conversations. They are the ones feeling the absence of your presence. This is where psychological warfare becomes elegant. You are not attacking anyone. You are simply refusing to participate in dynamics that devalue you. And that refusal, that quiet withdrawal, creates more impact than any confrontation ever could. Machiavelli understood that the most effective strategies are those that appear effortless. When you master the art of strategic absence, people assume you are simply busy, focused, or unbothered. They do not realize you are deliberately creating distance to recalibrate their perception of your value. And because they do not see the strategy, they cannot defend against it. Now let's discuss the power of emotional control. Most people are slaves to their emotions. Someone insults them, they lash out. Someone ignores them, they panic. Someone challenges them, they become defensive. But you are learning to operate from a different level. You are learning that emotional reactions are leaks in your armor, and every leak is an opportunity for others to manipulate you. When you remain calm in situations designed to provoke you, you accomplish two things. First, you deny the other person the satisfaction of knowing they affected you. Second, you force them to question whether their tactics work on you at all. That doubt makes them hesitant to test you again. Emotional control is not about suppressing feelings. It is about choosing when and how to express them. It is about refusing to let external chaos dictate your internal state. This level of discipline is rare, and rarity commands attention. You will encounter people who try to bait you into reactions. They will say things designed to trigger insecurity, anger, or defensiveness. Your refusal to take the bait will confuse them. Confusion creates hesitation. Hesitation creates space, and in that space, you regain control of the interaction. As you develop this skill, you will notice that people start treating you differently. They become more careful with their words. They think twice before dismissing you. They avoid making assumptions about how you will respond. This is the invisible authority that comes from mastering your own emotional landscape. Let's talk about the concept of becoming unreadable. Predictability is a liability. When people can predict your behavior, they can manipulate it. When they can read your emotions, they can exploit them. When they understand your patterns, they can use them against you. But when you become a puzzle they cannot solve, you gain a psychological advantage that most people never achieve. Being unreadable does not mean being dishonest or fake. It means being selective about what you reveal. It means controlling the flow of information about your thoughts, plans, and feelings. It means refusing to announce every move before you make it. Think about the last time someone surprised you with a decision. Maybe they quit a job, ended a relationship, or made a major life change without warning. You probably felt a mix of shock and respect. Shock because you did not see it coming. Respect because they clearly operate on a level you were not privy to. That is the energy you want to cultivate. When you stop announcing your plans, you stop inviting opinions you did not ask for. You stop giving people the opportunity to discourage you, doubt you, or sabotage you. You move in silence, and you let your results speak. Machiavelli advised leaders to conceal their intentions until the moment of execution. This prevents enemies from preparing defenses and allies from interfering with strategies they do not fully understand. The same principle applies to your personal life. The less people know about your next move, the less they can interfere with it. Start practicing strategic silence. When someone asks what you are working on, offer a vague but confident response. When someone probes into your personal life, redirect the conversation or offer minimal detail. When someone tries to predict your behavior, surprise them by doing the opposite of what they expect. This does not mean lying or being evasive in ways that damage trust. It means protecting your mental and strategic space from unnecessary intrusion. It means recognizing that not everyone deserves a front row seat to your evolution. As you implement these changes, you will face resistance. People who benefited from your old patterns will try to pull you back. They will accuse you of changing, being distant, or acting different. These accusations are not concerns. They are manipulations designed to restore the dynamic that served them. Your response should be silence or a calm acknowledgement without apology. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your growth. You do not owe anyone access to the person you are becoming. And you certainly do not owe anyone a return to the version of yourself that allowed them to take advantage of you. Let's examine the principle of never needing anyone. Need is the root of weakness in any power dynamic. When someone knows you need them, they can control you. When they sense desperation, they can exploit it. When they recognize dependency, they can leverage it. But when you reach a state where you genuinely do not need anyone, where you are complete within yourself, where you can walk away from any situation without fear, you become untouchable. This does not mean rejecting relationships or isolating yourself. It means building yourself so fully that relationships enhance your life rather than define it. This shift requires brutal honesty. You must confront the parts of yourself that cling to others for validation, security, or identity. You must dismantle the belief that another person can complete you. You must accept that you are responsible for your own fulfillment, and no one else can carry that burden for you. As you internalize this truth, your relationships transform. You stop tolerating disrespect because you no longer fear being alone. You stop chasing people because you recognize that the right people will match your energy without being pursued. You stop settling because you understand that your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see it. Machiavelli warned that dependence makes men vulnerable. The leader who relies too heavily on others becomes a puppet to their whims. But the leader who stands alone, who can rebuild from nothing, who fears no loss, becomes a force that others must reckon with. This is the level you are aiming for. A place where your sense of worth is internally generated, where your confidence is self-sustained, where your peace is protected by boundaries that do not bend for anyone unworthy of your energy. Now let's discuss the strategic use of absence. Absence is one of the most underrated tools in the arsenal of power. Most people fear absence because they fear being forgotten, but the truth is, absence makes you memorable. When you remove yourself from a situation, from a conversation, from someone's life, you create a void, and voids demand to be filled. People do not miss what is always present, they miss what disappears. They do not value what is guaranteed, they value what becomes uncertain. When you master the timing of your withdrawal, you master the art of making people chase what they once took for granted. This requires discipline because the instinct is to stay visible, to keep engaging, to remain in the loop. Your ego will tell you that if you're not constantly present, you'll be forgotten. Your fear will whisper that if you step back, someone else will take your place. Your conditioning will insist that you need to keep proving yourself, keep showing up, keep reminding people of your value. But visibility without value is noise. It's the constant chatter that people learn to tune out. It's the background static that becomes so familiar it loses all impact. When you're always there, always available, always responding, you become part of the scenery rather than the focal point. Engagement without reciprocity is exhausting. It drains your energy, depletes your resources, and leaves you feeling empty and unappreciated. You give and give and give, and receive nothing in return except the hollow satisfaction of knowing you were present. And staying in the loop with people who do not respect you is self-sabotage. It's volunteering for your own diminishment. It's teaching people that your boundaries are negotiable, that your time is worthless, and that your presence requires no effort on their part to maintain. Strategic absence is about knowing when to step back. It's about recognizing the precise moment when your continued presence stops adding value and starts diminishing it, when to stop initiating, when to recognize that you've been the one carrying the relationship, the conversation, the connection, and that it's time to see if the other person will pick up their share of the weight, when to let silence stretch, when to resist the urge to fill every gap, answer every message immediately, or jump in to save every dying conversation, when to allow people to feel the consequences of losing your presence, not as revenge, not as manipulation, but as a natural result of their own neglect. When you remove yourself from the equation, you create a void, and that void becomes a mirror that reflects back to people exactly how much they were taking you for granted. And when you do this, you will see who truly values you and who was simply using you as a placeholder. You will see who was genuinely invested in the connection and who was simply enjoying the convenience of your attention. You will discover who saw you as a person and who saw you as a function, a service, a resource to be exploited until it runs dry. The people who reach out, who notice your absence, who adjust their behavior to win back your attention, those are the ones worth keeping close. These are the individuals who recognize quality when they see it, who understand that your presence is a gift rather than a guarantee, and who are willing to put in effort to maintain the connection. The people who do not notice or do not care, those are the ones you successfully filtered out. They have revealed themselves through their inaction. They have shown you that your presence added nothing meaningful to their lives, or that they took it so completely for granted that they assumed it would always be there regardless of how they treated you. Either way, you now have clarity. You now have information you can act upon. You now know where you actually stand rather than where you hoped you stood. As you refine this skill, you will realize that your absence is not a punishment. It is a test of loyalty, respect, and genuine interest. It's a diagnostic tool that reveals the true nature of your relationships without requiring confrontation, explanation, or drama. And the results of that test will show you exactly where you stand in someone's life. Not where you imagine you stand, not where they claim you stand, but where you actually stand as demonstrated by their behavior when you're no longer making it easy for them. This is invaluable information. This is the truth that most people spend years avoiding because they're afraid of what they might discover, but you are not most people. You are someone who values truth over comfort, clarity over illusion, and reality over fantasy. Let's bring this full circle. You are not learning these principles to manipulate others for selfish gain. You are not studying these strategies to become a puppet master who controls people through psychological tricks. You are not developing these skills to hurt people or to play games with their emotions for your own amusement. You are learning them to protect yourself in a world where naivety is a liability. You are arming yourself with knowledge because ignorance of these dynamics doesn't exempt you from being affected by them. You are learning to navigate social and professional landscapes where power dynamics are always at play, whether you acknowledge them or not. These forces exist regardless of your awareness of them. People are already using these principles against you, consciously or unconsciously. The only question is whether you'll remain blind to them or whether you'll open your eyes and learn to operate with the same level of strategic awareness. Machiavelli did not write his strategies for the weak or the passive. He wrote them for leaders, for people who understood that the world operates according to certain unchanging principles. He wrote them for those who understand that survival and success require more than good intentions. Good intentions are beautiful, but they are not sufficient. Being kind is admirable, but kindness without boundaries is exploitation waiting to happen. They require awareness, adaptability, and the willingness to play the game better than those who play it against you. This doesn't mean becoming ruthless or cruel. It means becoming strategic and intentional. It means understanding the rules of engagement so thoroughly that you can navigate them with grace rather than stumbling through them with confusion. By refusing to beg, you reclaim your dignity. You send a message to yourself and to the world that you understand your worth is inherent, not negotiable, not dependent on someone else's recognition or approval. By refusing to chase, you reclaim your power. You stop giving other people control over your emotional state. your self-esteem, and your sense of value. You stop making them the center of your universe and return yourself to that position. By refusing to explain, you reclaim your mystery. You stop diminishing yourself through over-justification. You stop giving people the roadmap to manipulate you. You stop reducing your complexity to bite-sized explanations for people who aren't genuinely trying to understand you anyway. And by building value through scarcity, emotional control, and strategic absence, you transform yourself into someone the world cannot ignore, cannot predict, and cannot control. You become a force rather than a resource. You become a presence rather than a convenience. You become someone who operates from a position of strength rather than need. This is not about becoming heartless. This is about becoming smart. It's about protecting your heart by being selective about who gets access to it. It's about valuing your emotional energy enough to invest it wisely rather than scattering it carelessly. This is not about rejecting connection. This is about demanding that connection be mutual, respectful, and worth your time. It's about raising your standards and refusing to settle for one-sided relationships where you do all the work and receive none of the reward. This is not about isolation. This is about elevation. It's about rising to a level where the quality of your connections matters more than the quantity. It's about surrounding yourself with people who add value to your life rather than drain it. You are stepping into a version of yourself that operates from abundance rather than scarcity, from strategy rather than emotion, from intention rather than reaction. You are moving from a mindset of I need to hold on to whatever I can get to I am selective about what I allow into my life. You are shifting from emotional reactivity, where you respond to every stimulus like a puppet on strings, to strategic response, where you pause, assess, and choose your actions based on your goals rather than your immediate feelings. You are transitioning from living by default, simply reacting to whatever life throws at you, to living by design, consciously creating the reality you want through deliberate choices and strategic action. And as you do, you will notice the world responding differently. The shift will be subtle at first, then increasingly obvious. People will approach you with more respect. They will sense something different about you, something they can't quite name, but that commands their attention and consideration. Opportunities will find you with less effort. When you stop chasing, when you start building genuine value and protecting your energy, you create a magnetic quality that draws the right people and circumstances toward you. Relationships will balance themselves without you having to force reciprocity. The people who remain in your life will be those who naturally match your energy, who give as much as they receive, who value the connection enough to maintain it without you having to do all the work. This is the reality that awaits those who master these principles. A reality where your presence is valued because it is rare, where people don't take you for granted because they understand that access to you is a privilege that can be revoked if it's not respected, where your words carry weight because they are few, where people listen when you speak because you've trained them to understand that you don't waste words, that when you have something to say, it's worth hearing, where your energy is protected because you refuse to waste it on those who do not deserve it, where you've created such strong boundaries and such clear standards that energy vampires and time wasters naturally filter themselves out of your life before they can do any damage. The path forward is clear. Stop giving yourself away for free. Stop offering your time, attention, energy, and expertise to people who don't value it, who take it for granted, who would never reciprocate if the situation were reversed. Stop explaining your worth to people who are determined to misunderstand you. Stop exhausting yourself trying to prove your value to individuals who have already decided not to see it, who benefit from keeping you insecure, who need you to be less so they can feel like more. Stop chasing anyone or anything that does not chase you back with equal intensity. Stop pursuing people who are lukewarm about you while you're burning with enthusiasm for them. Stop investing in relationships where the energy is completely imbalanced. And start building a life where your value is so undeniable that the world has no choice but to recognize it. Start developing your skills, your knowledge, your presence, your character to such a degree that your worth becomes self-evident, requiring no explanation, no justification, no defense. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You are here to be respected by those who matter and feared by those who test you. Not feared in the sense of being cruel or dangerous, but feared in the sense that people understand there are consequences for disrespecting you, for taking you for granted, for crossing your boundaries. You are not here to be understood by the masses. Most people won't understand you, and that's perfectly fine. You are here to be undeniable in your presence and unforgettable in your absence. You are here to make such an impact when you're present that people feel the void when you're gone. You are here to create such a powerful sense of self that your absence speaks louder than most people's presence. Never beg, never chase. Never explain, build value, build mystery, build power. This is the way forward. This is the Machiavellian path, and this is who you are becoming.